Hello, thank you so much for joining once again to this channel. And in this opportunity, we are going to talk about another grammar point. In this opportunity, we are talking about nouns, and we're going to start with a definition. So, what is a noun? It's important to know that a noun is a member of a class of words that we use to refer to a person, an animal, a place, a state, or a thing. And these are some examples of nouns. We have a waiter. Waiter is a noun. Town is a noun. Pizza is a noun. Egg is a noun also. So here I'm naming a person. Here I am naming a place. I am naming a thing, and I am naming a thing as well. So names are those words that we use to name things. Nouns actually are names that we use to name, to refer to things, people, places, animals, etc. So one important thing that we need to understand about nouns is that we can pluralize them. So a noun may be singular or plural. For example, I have here all these nouns are in singular because they refer to one only. For example, a waiter, a town, a pizza, and an egg, all of them are referring to one single thing. So let's see. Uh, if I say that something is in singular, what I'm saying is that I'm talking about only one. So singular means basically means one. That is singular. Plural then means more than one. So when I say a waiter, what I'm saying is one waiter. So I can say an egg, or I could say two eggs. This is singular because it's only one, but this is plural because it's more than one. I could say a pizza, or I could say three pizzas. And again, I'm referring to one, so this is singular. You see, this is singular because it's only one, but this instead is plural because it's more than one. I can say a day, or I can say, I don't know, 4 days. So singular, plural. Singular is one, plural is more than one. That's one important thing that we should know about nouns. One more thing that we need to keep in mind about nouns is that proper nouns, they should begin with a capital letter. So now you might be asking, what is a proper noun? So a proper noun is a specific noun. It's the name of something in specific. So when I say person, right? Okay, person is anybody, is a person. This is common. This is a common noun because it's general. But when I say John, I'm gonna say John. So this is proper. So nouns can also be classified into these two categories. Common, proper. A common noun is general noun, is naming the species of something in general, but a proper noun is naming something in specific. So when I say person, I refer to the whole category, the whole class of beings, but when I say John, I refer to one specific person. So this is proper, this is common. So when we are writing proper nouns, we have to write the first letter in capital. It should be capitalized. Some other examples might be Kansas, because I'm referring to the proper noun of a city. Kansas, I could say Saturday. I could say August. I could say a country, Canada, and so on and so on. All of them are proper nouns because they are referring, they are naming a specific thing. So Kansas is the specific name of a city, the specific name of a day, the specific name of a month, and the specific name of a country. All of them start or begins with a capital letter. That is what the rule says, and we need to follow them. So going back to singular and plurals, we need to note also that there are some rules or patterns that we have to follow in order to write plurals. What are those patterns? We're gonna see. So one of those patterns is the first one that we have in here. Whenever we have a noun that ends with these sounds s, sh, ch, or x, so to write that noun in plural, we are going to add the ending es. For example, bosses, classes, watches. These nouns, the original form are these. So we have boss, class, watch. As you may see, we are identifying the final sound, boss with an S, class with an S, and watch with CH. So when they are in plural, they should end with ES. Bosses, classes, watches. That is what the rule says, and the rule that we have to follow. Now, another pattern or a different rule that we can follow to write plurals, to make plurals, is that whenever we have a noun that finishes, that ends with a consonant followed by the consonant Y, so we are going to change the letter Y, and then we are going to add es. So basically, we are going to replace the letter Y by the letter I, and then we are going to add es. For example, families. Families comes from the word family, right? So you might remember the original word for family. Let's write it down here. So I think we can make it clearer. So remember that the original form is family, ending in the consonant L plus the consonant Y. So when it is in plural, we are going to change the letter Y by the letter I, and then we add es. Family becomes families. So babies come from baby. Baby is the singular, so babies is the plural. And the same happens to countries. So we say country with Y, ended with Y, and we are going to replace the letter Y by the letter I, and then we add es. That is what the pattern, that is what the rule says. There is one more pattern that we can follow. I'm gonna also write it here. And I think it's important to know. Remember that all rules have an exception. That is why I don't like call them rules. I prefer to call them patterns. Whenever we have a noun ended in the sounds I, the sound a, or the sound oi, so basically those nouns are going to be added the ending s, just the letter s. Examples: we have the noun boy, the singular noun boy. When I want to have it in plural, so I'm going to add the letter s only. So boys, boys. When I have the word toy, so I'm gonna say toys. When I have the word they, so you see the pattern: boy, toy, and they. I have it here, so I'm gonna say days. Boys, toys, days, and that is another pattern to make the plural. So though these are some things that we consider are pretty important because they can improve our writing but also our speaking. Some people believe that grammar is not important and they prefer to ignore the grammar rules. So they think that if you have enough vocabulary, so you will be able to speak. And that is probably true. However, I don't think that you're going to speak properly if you don't manage the grammar rules or the grammar patterns. Now, we have one more pattern here, and it is those nouns that ends in the sound F or the sound FE. So what are we going to do? We are going to replace the letter F by the letter V, and then we are going to add the ending es. One classic example is wolf. Wolf is an animal. Probably you recognize the word. It's an animal. Wolf is singular. So what is the plural? So we say wolves. Wolves. You see, I changed the letter F and I replaced it by the letter V, and then I add es. The same happens to wife. This is singular. So now I'm gonna write it in plural. So I'm gonna replace F by V and I'm gonna add es, and I say wives. Wives. So another example might be scarf. A scarf is, it's a piece of clothing that you put under your neck or you put on your neck. That is a scarf, one scarf, and then you have scarves. Scarves. You see, all of them follow the same pattern. We replaced F by V, and then we added ES. That is another pattern for making plurals. Remember that we're making plurals here. Now, there are some nouns in English that we call irregular nouns. That means that those nouns don't follow any pattern. So they don't follow any rule, and the only way for us to manage them is to memorizing them. Actually, there's no other way. Some examples of those nouns. I'm saying some examples because definitely we don't have like enough time to write them all in a single video, but I can give you some examples so we have an idea. So for example, one of them is woman. This is the singular, but then the plural is women. I'm gonna correct this. So we say women. So woman becomes women. It's not following any pattern. We don't add the letter S, we don't add ES, we don't add anything. We just change the whole word. That is because of this is an irregular noun, so it's not following any pattern. The same happens to man. We say man is the plural. The same happens to person, and the plural is people. The same happens to child. The plural is children. The same happens to fish, and the plural is exactly the same, fish, or foot, which plural is feet, and so on. Like those, we have so many other nouns that don't follow any pattern, that don't follow any rule. So all we can do is memorizing them. So if you want to manage this, so the best way for you to have is memorizing them. Of course, you're not going to go and study them like by heart. What you can do is practicing. You can, read, you can watch series, you can listen to music, etc. And the more you're doing that, so the easier will be for you, because once you are listen to them once and again and again and again, so it will be easier for you to keep them in mind. So these are just some examples of irregular nouns. their plurals are different. They don't follow any patterns. Now, another thing that we need to know about the plurals is that some nouns are always written in plural because most of the time they come in more than one. That is the case of pants, for example. So we always say pants because when we say pants, we refer to both. They usually come in pairs. So we never say a pant. I'm going to buy a pant. Or I'm wearing a pant. No, we never say that. So we are wearing pants. Pants. It is a couple of them. We never say, for example, scissors. We never say scissor. It's not one, it's scissors. It's always plural. Another one is clothes. So those words, they always come in plural. We never say jean. We don't wear a jean. We don't buy a jean. We buy jeans. We wear jeans. Is all of them are always in plural. Some other nouns that we have to memorize too, right? That's the case. There are more things, a lot of more things to know, to understand about nouns. In future videos, we're going to be talking about abstract nouns, concrete nouns, countable nouns, uncountable nouns. But I think that for this video, it's enough. So we already managed the basics here, and I think that for this first video will be enough. So thank you so much for watching. That will be all for now. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Just click, punch the red button here, subscribe to the channel, share the video and comment it so we can reach more English learners every day. Bye bye now.